Hello again, everyone. You're welcome to another episode of the N.O.W show. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at what it takes to be an overcomer and a winner. First, I will start by going to the dictionary to tell you what win and overcome means. Overcome: to win a victory over, to get on top of, deal with something successfully. And what is win? By the dictionary definition, win: be victorious, gain, obtain, arrive with great effort, succeed, acquire. Is victory, triumph, position of first place. Is to be a winner in a contest or competition. A win is a victory, is something won. But to us on the N.O.W show, what is it to win? What is it to be an overcomer? To us, to be an overcomer and a winner is not the absence of problems. It's not the absence of issues. And it's certainly not the absence of adversity, nor even the absence of feeling low. It's actually the presence of one or more of this and rising above all of them. Despite any circumstances, despite your environment, despite the seeming peculiarity of your situation. Winning and overcoming is turning your story around.
The first line of support is your parents. If it's not there, it probably will be other relatives. If that is missing, it could be very close friends. It could be a teacher or a mentor. It could be a pastor in church, but there would be one line of support. It may not be as strong as what your parents would have offered, but you'll always be there. But most people don't know that the way God has created us, there is more strength in us than people imagine. And unless you are really tested, you will not know how much strength you had in you.
Unless you're tested,
unless
you don't know how much
the situation presents that test for you. It's only then that you know that, you actually can get through so many things without necessarily depending on too many people.
I will be telling you about a tale of two crayons. A full crayon and a broken crayon. Whether broken or full, think about it. Both crayons make color. And that is how I want you to look at your life. Because some people feel broken. Some people feel full. Some people feel they're full of life. They feel everything is going on, everything is working. But others feel broken. They feel not everything is working. So when you look at your life as a crayon, whether broken or is full, it makes color. So you can make color even in your broken state.
Can I be honest with you? And parents, we know this. Saying no is not easy. How many of us say no to ashwebi when they bring it? It's not easy now. If it was that easy, when they say no, we just say that I don't want the ashwebi. But we collect it and then we think, how am I going to pay? So one of the struggles that our children deal with is saying no is not easy.
So the devil tried to come up with lies like you're not clean, you cannot be pure again. There were sometimes I had to fight with seeking validation, But I want you to know that first of all, you are loved, and you're not less. You are even more. Your scars make you more beautiful. You know what they say about broken cords?
Yes.
Yes. When broken cords come together. So you'll be fine if you can just hold on to God.
For you to begin to operate in the realm that God wants you to operate in is that you begin to understand that I cannot be conformed. You will have a mindset to break free. If your father believed a system that limited him, you said, I don't want to believe it. You must make up your mind that you are not conforming. You want to travel to America, I don't say I want to go and work and do all of the things that you go and stand out. You want to go to London, don't say it's difficult. No, stand out. Take out every limiting factor. Take out the mentality of struggle. Just know that you will shine, because the fish does not go to the water and struggle.
And I'll tell widows one thing,
Please.
that widowhood, it's so pathetic that in this part of the world people see it as a curse,
As a stigma.
Yes. And widows go through a lot. But that's not withstanding. Rise up above the situation.
Good.
And do something. Don't throw a pity party around yourself.
No pity
Don't
party.
wallow in self-pity. Rise up. You have these 2 hands, you have these 2 legs. You can do something. You can do anything that is genuine. Anything that is legit to put food on the table.
You should put your trust in God.
Yes. God has to be a big factor, because without him we can't do anything.
We do nothing.
And he has told us he's the husband of the widow.
That's
what
right.
More
I
do
was
we
going
want?
to come to that.
What more do we want? You just, factor yourself into that promise, walk around it, and you see to what heights God will take you to.
Well, what can I say about life? It's a journey. But the good in us stays with us. Keep good. Continue to bank your goodwill with people. Will feed you back with the goodwill. Love your life. Love your wife. Love your family at all times. And always remember God, no matter what. I may not remember to pray, but I always remember God and put him in the elements of things. Thank you, and have a great day.
Your environment cannot determine you. Your environment cannot determine your actions. Your environment cannot determine the way you speak or treat others. Let me tell you something about me. I was in a repressive and oppressive marriage, and not many outside could tell because of my attitude most of the time. I was still my bubbly, happy, go-lucky, everything was perfect self. That's when my marriage crashed. People were shocked. People were totally shocked, unexpected. You know why? My environment never dictated my person. Rather, my values helped me to cope. So I say to you, parents, teachers, leaders, mentors, please, let's place a premium on values and enforce it to those we lead. And for you, dictate to and overcome your environment and not the other way around.
Yes. And I think it's important that God is glorified in anything. So he's glorified in the good, but he's also glorified in what people call the bad. And frankly, there's a greater chance to glorify God in what people call the bad, the challenging. And I just think attitude is key to overcoming life's challenges. If the glass is always half full, then that's a good attitude to have. If the glass is always half empty, it's going to handicap you in dealing with the challenges. I pastor a church, more than 3,000 people. That's more than 3,000 problems that come your way. And we once we get the attitude right, you see God move. You stand on it. My wife Shola always says that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and there's truth in that. You see someone going through something, and you think, I just can't handle that.
I can't deal with this.
I can't deal with it. And truly, you can't. You can't deal with it. That's because you're not supposed to deal with it. But then you go into something, and the person turns around and says, how on earth did you deal with that? You dealt with it simply because that was part of the course of life.
Journey.
That's your own journey, and God gives you the grace to deal with your own journey. So for the person out there who's going through a tough time, open up yourself, reach out for this God's grace. It is real. It gives you the ability, the capacity to deal with what you can't deal with naturally. It's not earthly, it is supernatural, it is divine, and it comes from God, and it's available to all of us if you would just open up yourself and reach out to it.
A lot of times as well, we think, oh, I just sleep, wake up and watch TV. Think what other people are doing that time you're watching TV or sleeping. Sleeping and waking up wasn't for me. It just wasn't working out for me.
You just couldn't
at
be
all,
idle.
At all. So I said, nah, I have to go back. And it was hard. It was the recession period. Nobody was employing. There was a program, however, in Ireland where you can work internship kind of a thing. 9 months for free.
Wow, for
absolutely
free.
9 months for free. You don't know if they're going to take you after that. You don't know where you're going to get after that. So then after that, I did my internship there, 9 months, and then they took me on. right? You had to prove yourself, and I suppose I proved myself.
You did.
I proved
You
myself
did.
well before the 9 months, to be honest. And like my boss then.
Because you had the drive.
Yeah, there was.
Because you wanted to get it.
Always, yeah.
You knew you had to.
I knew where I was going.
Yes.
Right? And even my boss then that I was working with, I always let him know, I know where I'm going. You know, this small circle is a learning step for me. And I was being honest.
Yes.
You know, I was just being honest with him. But for the younger ones, keep going. There is no such thing as limits. Limits are there, but it's a mindset. Step out of it.
You know, how many of us can open our mouth and say, remember the song
of who you are?
It's difficult for the parents of today to say that, because when they look at their own antecedents, they'll say, can I tell my child to do as I do? So where you cannot use yourself as an example to your child, it becomes a problem. So for every action a father is taking, you must realize that even if you can't see the repercussion physically with your eyes, you see it through your children.
Wow. Because truly your children are the story you tell into the future.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, they are
about
the
yourself. Yes.
They are the future. So when you sit back and you say, 40 years ago, my father, when I was living home and going to secondary school, my father said, remember the song
of who you are. And we heard that a lot.
That resonated.
Yes.
But for the child of today, how many parents can look their child in the eye and say, remember the song?
Wow.
You see, going back to our topic.
Yes.
Fatherhood has not changed. The principles of fatherhood
remains the same.
Is very much the same, and is exactly as it was in the beginning, it's now and forever shall be. It is the same. It is the approach that you continue to fine-tune.
Wow, so that's true.
The approach is what we're fine-tuning.
Yes.
So we're saying, instead of talking to, you should talk with. So when you start talking with a child, it's a different means of communication.
Yes. The reality is that what you become, you are or become your mind.
Your thoughts.
Everything that happens to us starts from the mind.
Yes.
The decision to kill is nurtured in the mind.
That's right.
You think about it, you plan it, you process it before you execute it. The decision to become a better person, to live through the challenges, it comes in the mind.
That's it.
If you position your mind right, your body will align.
Yeah, that's right.
You see, the mindset is the most critical thing to deal with in young people, in adults, in anybody, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
If your thoughts are constantly that of giving up, if the only thing that fills your heart is that, look, I can't do this anymore. Oh, I'm so tired of it all. Everything is just coming at me. Too many things. I can't even, you don't leave any room for, this one too shall pass. Do you understand? You don't leave any room for overcoming that challenge.
Yes.
You completely overwhelm your mind with negative thoughts, and you think you can't get out of this situation.
Yes.
Guess what? You won't get out of it.
Yes.
If you like I say to people, if you say, I can do it, then you will.
Yes.
If you say, I cannot do it, if you start out by saying, I cannot do it, then you won't do it. Nothing will make you do it. The mind is what propels us to action, is what helps us overcome challenges.
Yes.
So what are you feeding your mind?
Yes.
First of all, I didn't have any idea what chemo was, because you hear chemotherapy, you don't know if you're put into a machine or you just hear chemotherapy. So I got there and he had all these massive needles and he put a cannula in my hand. And then we talked throughout it, which helped. And, he started off, this is anti-nausea, this is that. And then we continued with the process. And then I was told to wait for a bit just to see if I would react to it. And then I went home.
So there are those things you're going to have to deal with. Changes that occur with you. Loss of your hair, What other things? Tell me, what's the chemo sessions for somebody out there who is still trying to come to terms with going through chemo? You've been through.
It's a cocktail of drugs.
Good.
It's a cocktail of drugs. I'm not sure. We had 4 sessions of one type, and then we also had 4 sessions of another type. So I went through the first one. He gave me a lot of anti-nausea. There were tablets and everything. It was very difficult. I would feel so sick. Sometimes it would take a few days and then it would kick in. The session was every 3 weeks. So by the end of the first week, beginning of the second week, I would start to get better. But towards the end, I just didn't get better at all. I just got worse. It's something that you can't describe. But my focus was getting to the end. It started with 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, then 3 to go, 2 to go. The last one I didn't want to have because my body just did not recover. I had a big argument with the doctor. I called my referring doctor. I told him that he should tell his friend I was not having this thing, that it would kill me. Because that's what it was. I could barely walk. I was in a lot of, you can't imagine the pain.
About pain.
Oh, the pain was something else. The Bible says that you go through things in order for you to be able to encourage other people.
Right.
And then you now think, why me? Why should I be the one that has to go through it to encourage other people? But it's one of those things, it's done. And I'm able, to the glory of God, I've spoken to so many people. My doctor tells people to call me. We speak about it. I'm able to share my experiences. I'm able to tell them the way that I was feeling. And I've been told that they feel encouraged and they feel blessed by it. And I'm happy. I'm grateful that I can do something. I can make my own little contribution towards making other people better. The focus is the end. No matter what the troubles are, focus on the end, because it has a timeline. The treatment has a timeline and it must end. Focus on the end. Don't try and overlook all the different pain and the this and the that. Focus on the end. Count it down and it'll be over. Even the side effects and everything, you get over it. Here I am, I'm sitting here. Wow. And there's some of you can't imagine it. You cannot imagine it. You can't imagine it.
I keep telling my friends that if I have a home, 50% like what my parents have, I think I'm a success.
I agree. I agree.
So yes. That's the kind of home we're brought up in.
Okay.
But I personally, I experienced some delays growing up.
You had your own struggles.
Oh, absolutely. But I remember secondary school when I was in SS3. That's my final year in secondary school. My sister, the last one, she was in JSS1, right? Getting into university, we got into university at the same time.
Wow.
We finished, no. I got into university a year before, but we finished university the same day. This is like 5 years gap in the secondary school, and then me just losing all that to finish at the same period. In fact, I almost didn't finish.
How did that feel?
It was horrible. I mean, horrible. There were very, very, very difficult moments. And I remember Mom calling me one day and she's like, look, I've seen this pattern that needs to be broken in your life. Like, this is ridiculous. And I remember we started praying about it consciously. Like, she told me to fast, to pray. And I started seeing evident changes. Now I run a business. I have a farm. I have about 10 staff members.
Wow.
And that is one side. I'm running my master's program at the same time. I'm managing a printing press. But I feel if I didn't have to go through what I went through, I won't be able to manage what I'm doing right now.
Yes. I would say that it's important to really take your time to understand and get to know the person fully. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And great things take time to build. Take your time, find the right partner, get to know them, but get to know yourself. Love yourself. Because at the end of the day, all these aunties, all these uncles, all these grandparents, all of these family members trying to pressure you into getting married. Are they going to be in the marriage with you? Are they going to be in it, facing what you're facing? No, they cannot. No, they aren't. So if I were you, I would take my time, get to know the person, get to understand what marriage actually really means. It's important to not let societal pressure get to you and force you or pressure you into making a decision that you regret. For the people out there that have found love, that have found great marriages, you share the tips. Congratulations to you. But for those of us that are still hoping, still praying, a blissful partner and a blissful marriage, everything comes at the right time. God's time is the best time. Whether you're 25, 35, 45, it will all happen when it's meant to. You'll find the right person, and the right person will come at the appropriate time.
Life is a process. We go through different stages. But it's important that if you want to be successful, whatever you want to do, take that first step. Give it a try. No matter how small that first step is, take that first step. Because if you don't, then you'll never get there. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're doing a 9 to 5, the same thing applies. Because at the end of the day, you need to have that aggression, that spirit, and that drive. If you don't have it, regardless of your background, where you come from, you will never be successful. Thank you very much.
There are things like before you get married, I always tell people, don't go into a relationship if you don't know yourself. You've got to know yourself first.
So know yourself
Know
first.
yourself first.
Okay.
Know what you want.
Okay.
You know, have a checklist. Know your deal breakers.
Okay.
Know your, because these are the things.
You know this checklist thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know they keep saying that, like some of my friends who are not married, it's because they were choosing and picking. They had this checklist. So once somebody they meet does not meet, the checklist, then they go, and so that's what has made them single up till
Possibly.
their 50s or something.
Possibly.
So this checklist.
No. The checklist has nothing to do, because there's a balance. You have to balance out everything.
Okay.
If you have a checklist and it's this and it, are you that perfect yourself? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just a checklist of what you want in a life partner. And I'm talking about both for a male and a female. They are just
tell me
something.
some of the things that should be on your checklist.
Okay, for instance, maybe somebody is God-fearing.
Okay.
Find somebody who is kind. I recall, let me give, because I always like to use practical. I remember just before I met my husband, I was dating someone. And I thought that was the guy. I was sure he was the guy.
Are you serious?
Oh my gosh, I was sure. In fact, he was chasing me with my husband, and I decided, look,
no, it's this one. Thank God for God, though.
Thank you, Jesus. That corrected my incorrect head. Because I realized that my
calibrated your brain.
Yeah.
Set it. Factory set it.
Oh my gosh. I always
okay.
It was serious correcting, because I also found out now, back to the list.
Yes.
I had a list, but then I now had to look at that, re-examine that list. Yes, because I now realized that, excuse me, this guy is, yes, he's okay, he's good, he's da. But there were just some things I couldn't, there were some deal breakers that I couldn't take from him, that silent, he didn't beat me or curse me out, but that silent trying to treat you like behave like he's better than you, and I'm very sensitive. You have to know yourself. That's what I'm very sensitive to all those things. Then, not being caring. I said, this one is not for me. I'll be crying. If you are crying, I tell people, if you are crying during the relationship, don't marry this person. Just let the person work out.
Because your tears will certainly be more in the marriage.
So, thankfully, like I said, God corrected my incorrect head and incorrect list. And I ended up with my husband. Praise God.
Why do I say dependency? I had victory over stroke because I depended on God. When I was in the hospital with the diagnosis, seeing my state, when I had to get up and go for a test downstairs, they had to put me in a wheelchair. I knew I had no other choice but to depend on God. If I had a damaged mind and a damaged body, I would have a damaged feeling towards Him. In order for me to feel good with myself and feel good with Him that I served, I needed to be healed. So I had to totally depend on him. Here I am today, fully restored. I can talk. The whole essence of this show is talking. If I did not survive that illness, I would not be standing here and talking.
It is impossible for you to lose as long as you stay on God's side. You see, the truth is that it has been rigged in our favor. Head or tails, you win.